What is up, everybody? Welcome to the second week of Trial by Fireside, and it's an exciting week. I'm very happy to be here. I'm for right now. I'm joined here by Antlers, who's going to be on production, but he's going to be talking with me for a little bit. How you doing, Antlers? In case you guys didn't catch that, he's okay. But yeah, my name is Fleskore. I'm happy to be here, and right now we're on Bagel. This is a relatively new map that was recently introduced. This is one of the three Koth now. The other two being Clear Cut and Product. Product being a Koth staple has been in the map rotation for many years. Clear Cut, a recent new addition to RGL, which has been widely accepted, and Bagel is a new one that only used to be invite, but now they've released it to the public.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of feedback on whether three Koth maps is actually good for the game or not, and I think that it does actually offer a really nice change of gameplay pace that we don't really see when we just play, 5 CP after 5 CP metalworks to process the snake water ad infinitum, right? So essentially, I think that we can get a lot more of variety of gameplay and a lot more, maybe even different tactics than we'd normally see otherwise.
Oh yeah, Koth is very unique in as opposed to like 5 CP where you have a round timer of 5 minutes. You don't have a round timer. It's just like once the point is capped, time is constantly ticking. So there's going to be constant pressure for your team to be coordinated, and you need to push in as a team, or you also need to retreat as a team. So understanding your like what advantages you have and what you don't have is going to be very crucial, and it's going to be very vital for your team to recognize that and either to mitigate that one way or another, or straight up just say as a team, we'll come back next time.
Yeah, and speaking on coming back next time, this is actually a weekly program that we're doing over here on Fireside Cast. It's called Trial by Fireside. We're going to be reviewing amateur games primarily, but also we'll throw in some newcomer and maybe some IM games in the mix, depending on how we feel. And it's going to be mainly covering a little bit of map overview, a little bit of maybe even demo review, but it's mostly about kind of watching live games, casting as needed, but also going over things that maybe we see mistakes in or things that we can see improvements for, and then kind of helping out the teams that for a VOD review afterwards maybe. But I think the primary goal that we're focusing on right now here is creating an experience so that way more newer players can actually focus on learning from the mistakes of their peers, and b maybe from some advanced players like me and Fleskore.
Yeah, so as you said, like cost really important, and bagel bagel is pretty unique as opposed to the different maps. Just because there seems to be a lot more corridors, a lot more like enclosed spaces. Like you do have like on the right side, you do have like this little weird flank area that does connect both sides, and it's on like both left and the right depending on which side is that. So it's going to be constant overview. You do have potential for high bombs. You do have plenty of walls to jump off of, which is always really nice because Koth is usually a very scout centric map, and map designers and you know people who enjoy Koth want to make it more friendlier to the explosive classes, uh, such as like soldier or demo, just because if you're not a scout, it's kind of rough sometimes. Like especially on product, it's it's you're going against the grain. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As a soldier main myself, scouts not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't oftentimes have the ability to counter them the way that I'd like to, but I feel like different map changes actually also help with that as well. And I think that specifically the more recent Koth additions, being Koth Clearcut and here today Koth Bagel, there's actually a lot of interesting soldier dynamics that you can pull off, especially as a duo and even just holding flank as a roamer, which is my primary experience with the map.
Yeah, the little houses that you see like on the side, that's mainly going to be controlled by the soldier, just because it's a like a tight enclosed space, and soldier loves that. You could just shoot at a wall, you could shoot at the ceiling, you could shoot at the floor, and you're bound to hit something if someone has the gall, has the absolute brain power to like push you right there. But a good reason why you want to hold these is not only just to protect your flank, because it also allows for another avenue of of attacking the point. The point is relatively open. The houses all have windows, like, or doors, I should say, that you can jump into. You can jump on the point or spam it. Uh, so the midpoint isn't necessarily like, there's very little hiding there. So you're either going to be playing behind the houses, inside the houses if you're really risky, but the point is going to be, it's the focal point of the entire map, of course, because there's only one of it. But it's kind of exaggerated in Bagel just because there's no place to hide. You
Exactly.
know.
I'm actually going to be pulling that up on the screen right now as well. I'm going to be freehanding a couple map cams real quick, just from the STV. But looking at the map right now, I'm just got an overview of mid, just so Fleskore can get an idea on what I'm talking about. And there's a lot of open space here. Not necessarily many spots for demo traps, and you'd think
Or
off of the rip that that would be really good for scouts generally, and it is. But specifically in these areas, like in these big rooms that cover each side, each flank, there's a lot of soldier dynamic that can happen here, as well as the high bombs that can cross the map.
uh yeah, like, because there are not a lot of sticky traps, it's very open, so it does leave, yeah, soldiers get free reign up in the sky and maybe even across the point. um and the houses, we already explained all that, so it's very important, very and the main reason why you want to keep a soldier like in the house areas, as you can see, you already see like it's already very closed, very tight. Like, you do have like a little staircase that like does lead you up, but if you don't control these areas, both right and left side for your team, uh anyone can just flank your team really quickly, because most likely your team's going to be expecting it to be watched, and if it's not, you know that's gonna end up possibly on top 10 TF2 plays of the month, hosted by Eckstein. Shoutouts to him.
Of course, always shout outs to Eckstein. He's a big fan of the channel. We're big fans of him. I would say one space that gets a little underutilized even would be kind of these like flank areas past the doors, where it leads up to that drop down into the elevator, kind of like airflow going up on that flank. You know, by that big health pack to the right hand side. I have it on screen right now. I'm not really even sure how to describe it. I would call it a generator, and we normally called it ramp whenever playing scrims on it. But it never even came up because of how little that space came up. But I feel like if you really utilize that space properly, it could be huge.
Um, Moving on to like a little bit more like map specific things that you want to be doing. Everyone has like slightly tweaked roles. Like the roamer, uh, the 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 roamer in the pocket. Those fine lines that they used to like ride on are a little bit muddled. They're a little bit fuzzy, and they're both going to be playing as one unit. It's not necessarily going to be like, pocket's going to be uh Pocket's gonna be right next to the combo, but it's gonna be a little bit more loose. You will be like one of the first responders if your medic does need help, but you're mainly gonna be playing with your other soldier. And same thing goes for scouts. Like scouts, they're the dynamic duo. They're gonna be the combo to like you want to look out for, because I've played against really good scouts that play well together, and it is incredibly scary on Koth, just because you feel like they just dominate the map and there's nothing you can do. As for demo has this really unique role of you can deny cap with like, because you have a lot of explosive range and you have a lot of in general, so you can deny a lot of cap just by placing stickies there. You can spam stickies, your pipes, whatever, and you're basically, your job is your area denial for a lot of places. There's plenty of places where you can trap on the the point itself, like what it's elevated on. just around the corners, just to like keep teams in check. If someone wants to run at you, they have to cross you plus your 12 projectiles, your 8 stickies, and 4 pipes. Uh, and notice how like very little space this mid has, like in between, like a sticky in the middle of like the capture zone. It's most likely going to do damage everywhere. So it's really everyone has an important job. Medic. We understand that medic's going to be healing, going to be focusing heals, making sure that everyone stays alive. Plus Uber, uh, soldiers watching flanks, bombing together, scouts generally being a nuisance. So it's going to be yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've definitely noticed as well that medics will tend to stay with their demo and their scouts if at all possible. Just keep that kind of death ball rolling across the midpoint if they can help it really. But what would you say the impact has on a single pick on Koth? For instance, like if you lose just a soldier or just a demo, how does that change the gameplay, do you think?
I would say I would say losing anyone on Koth kind of makes your team. It greatly hinders your team. You're going to be struggling to find someone to fill that position because there's already like a lot to watch, and it's a constant ebb and flow. There's no time where you could actually take a breath. If you lose someone, that could be an instant push off the enemy team. Or if you kill, or if you get a kill on the enemy team, you can convert that into a push. Just because numbers matter a lot, both both between Uber, health, and how many people you have alive.
Yeah, of course. And then it also comes down to different gameplay strategies that might even come up, like a four-man sack if you lose your medic, or if your demo loses, you either have to pretty much trade out immediately or even just give up the space at that point. It just depends on how much you're being punished for losing the player that might have, strayed out a little bit beyond the team, got followed instead of being able to be supported like maybe they should have been.
Hmm.
And I think we're actually going to see a little bit of that happening in tonight's match, which is going to be AFK in game and IRL versus, what is it, Swaggers with Attitude?
I
I love
think
the
so.
names.
I genuinely love looking at like amateur newcomer names just because like they have some fire names. Like the creativity that these people have is just like ridiculous. Like I would have never come up with some of these.
Yeah, no, I think Swaggers with Attitude is probably one of my favorite names in honestly a long time.
Uh,
The long-standing team names in like Invite and Advance, they just don't have anything next to it. Next
like
to these
sure they're
one and done teams.
notable. Yeah, they're notable and everything. Like, oh wow, you have tenure. Wow, you won LAN 15 times in a row. Wow, but are you ever gonna be swaggers with attitude? I don't think so. But
Yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
moving on to talk about more about the map itself. Once you finally have mid, depending on how many people you have alive, you either have two options. You could either just kind of hold and your regular location, just making sure that everyone is watching a doorway, making sure that no one pushes in, or you can even do somewhat of a forward hold where you actually push into their lobby area, and not too far, of course. You're just kind of in here, and the main goal of a forward hold is to make waste a lot of time for the enemy team. They have to deal with that. They have to deal with you and your team being there. And what the goal for your team whenever you're forward holding is to stuff them, make them use as much resources as possible.
Yeah,
Make them
absolutely.
throw bodies at you, make them throw an Uber at you, make them work for just to get out of their spawn.
Yeah, no, map control on especially Koth maps, given that their actual size of location is very low, is absolutely vital in terms of any kind of gameplay they're going to be able to manage on, frankly, any map, but especially Koth. So I have right here the plat angle that normally teams choose to forward hold on, and I'd say probably the biggest advantage here is going to be its height in comparison to the rest of the map, and that actually causes teams issues when they're pushing into mid as well because of the height loss that goes into the mid. But in terms of forward holding, it's always best to have high ground, which is why, especially on Koth product, you'll see teams holding cliff, and you'll see teams holding that door specifically very tightly. And if they lose that, they just have to be pushed back. And it's the same thing here. Absolutely.
Yeah, so despite being a new map, it's relatively similar to product. but there's also going to be like very there's also going to be like very there's going to be some key differences. Like I think this might be one of the biggest mids, one of the biggest points to cap. Like there's just so much space on it. It's So it's gonna provide a little bit. If you're a scout or maybe just a soldier and you're really cheeky with it, you could just constantly edge cap to like bait the team coming forward. That way you can punish them there. You can, uh, or you can just straight up have your team super spread out, and if the enemy team wants to deal with you, you're all looking at them, but they can't all look at you at the same time, unless because they're most likely going to want to be doing focus fires and whatnot. And if you're all really super spread out, it's it's going to be a little bit difficult.
And that does come with coordination as well. So oftentimes that may be something that we can say, in theory, focused fire will always be a huge factor. But realistically, when it comes to the bolts and nuts of it, you may not even see that, especially in games in newcomer and low amateur, which I don't think either of these teams are. I think that they would have pretty good coordination, especially a couple weeks into the season now.
Yeah, it is only week 2, but both of these teams are up 1-0. So um,
Okay, so they're
coordination is
brawlers.
always going to yeah, these people are big balling in AM. One of these teams is going to go 2-0, one of them is going to go 1-1. Uh, Unfortunately, but that's the name of the game. That's the spirit of competition. You
Yep, can't win
sign
them
up.
all.
Can't win them all, but you also don't have to lose them all.
Speaking of
Just
winning them
gotta.
all, how did your melee game go earlier? I'm just interested at this point.
We lost 1-2, unfortunately.
Oh, that's so sad. For those
But
that don't know, Fleskore, very big Super Smash Bros. And melee player. Love to see
yes,
it.
there actually is quite a lot of crossover. I do know that there are some notable people in the community. The first one that comes to mind is Tadawa, but that's because he's in my region. So,
That's true. Isn't Mirror Man also a very big kind of platform fighter in general?
yes, Mirror Man placed really highly at Super Smash Con for Nintendo All Stars Brawl, and also I think won a pretty big regional tournament for multiverses. So pretty
Wow.
good at gamer. Also on Fryotech. So
Yeah, he's just the gamer, I guess.
you do be gaming.
Yeah, he do be gaming for real, for real.
But looks like we do have all 6 in the server here.
For
Uh,
that as well, I'm going to be dragging deltamarket in as well. He's going to be taking care of the actual cast.
yes.
I'm really here more of a stand-in. Love to have my voice on the channel though. Normally I'm just the producer behind the scenes. With that, I'm going to be dragging deltamarket in, and you guys can get started about talking about maybe team matchups or roster lineups.
Yeah.
Of course. With that, let's have at it. Hey, what's up,
Yo,
deltamarket?
what is up? What's up, Delta?
Oh, how's it going?
How you been, Delta? How's your day been?
I'm doing great. My day's been a little busy, but I'm glad to be here.
Of course, I understand that. We're working adults. It happens. But now we get to watch some good old-fashioned TF2. What a great way to end the day, don't you think?
Definitely.
So, on the side of Swaggers, they're going to be on blue. So we have Fish Botonator as one of the soldiers, along with Soiled It. We're going to have Atomic and Eggsy as the scouts. We're going to have Psych as the demo, and Beartooth Kills as the medic. And on the other side, this is going to be for AFK. I'm just going to shorten it down to AFK because they have a really long team name. We have 10Q and ISO as the soldier combo. We're going to have Doughboy and Largu as the scout combo. Kaki as the demo, and Ringlands as the medic. But looks like we are going to be readying up here. Going to be heading into the first mid. What are you excited to see here, Delta?
I really want to see how coordinated these teams can be. I'm looking for a bit of spam and then some aggression off of something. Yeah, it looks like Demo and Soldier are pressuring the left house for the side of red. And they're also pressuring the other side, which is really what you want to see. That Soldier almost caught out. Soil did, and Atomic's gonna fall.
Ooh, this is really big map control for red. They seem to have everyone on the point. We do have Soiled It a little bit caught out. Gonna be bombing in towards the back. Is gonna find a good frag onto Largu, but they did lose the point here, and now the time is ticking. So it's a constant race against the clock. They have to coordinate together, and right now Fishbotinator is going to be the first death here. A good thing about Koth that we forgot to mention is that if you don't own the point, your respawns will be faster. Ooh, really good rocket from Soda. Is going to find Doughy Boy, but not before being traded by ISO. ISO is going to be holding the left side for blue, but we actually do have a scout behind. Going to be forcing out the Uber. That's a really good sack from Eggsy.
Yeah, Soldier somehow forced there. Maybe the Demo bombing in made the medic nervous. Looks like they're cleaning up these picks. Demo's actually getting a kill. That guy is living way too long. He pipes the med too.
Whoa. Extra credit right there. And despite Kaki's very brave play of surviving forever, they actually looks like Swagger did manage to get the point yet again. A little bit less than a minute that red team had it, so it's not going to be too bad. And looks like they are playing really aggressive here. They're going to find 10Q. Lots of damage being done in the lobby, but Fishbotinator, unfortunate, is going to be extending a little bit too far. Going to be taking a 1v1 against a Demo. But this is like the power of the kind of forward holding. You kind of get them a little bit nervous to push out since they have so many corners that they have to clear.
Yeah, I really agree with how they played this. They had their Demo on left, and then they backed up as soon as the other team came in. Baited their Uber out perfectly.
Ooh. Did see an Uber come out, and that's as far as Uber pushes go, this is going pretty well. They did lose 2 here, but everyone is kind of low HP on the side of blue. Atomic is going to go down along with Fishbotinator. Really long respawn times, but looks like AFK does manage to get the point back.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. It seemed like blue was able to run away in time. Like, they kind of stopped behind point. Maybe they didn't expect that level of aggression with the bombs.
It was also pretty surprising because the Ubers weren't necessarily even at that point. I think Beartooth kills only had 80%, so it must have been counting the Ubers incorrectly, or AFK must have been building really hard. But looks like we are going to be peeking out 10Q. Going to be going down here, and just as we see there, we actually did see Atomic kind of starting to edge the point and bullying these players off. We are going to see a big bomb coming to Fishbotinator. Not going to find anything, but we are going to have a follow-up bomb by Soiled It. Really nice job. Going to be getting the Uber out. Everyone right here has to be kiting out, but the Demo, Psych is going to be caught out. That's what I'm telling you. The scouts are really scary on Koth.
Yeah, Uber's coming out, but no Demo to bomb here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to really find anything. Yeah, Soldier was hiding on the left. I don't know if I agree with Ubering without a Demo there. It makes it very difficult to kind of catch people out.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. They did have a lot of players rolling out, and looks like they didn't want to spend too much time. They only have 34 seconds left on the cap, as opposed to a 1 minute 50. So it is going to be precarious. It's definitely possible though. They do have to be a little bit coordinated. Have to be taking these fights together. Ooh, 10Q with the really nice frag on Eggsy, and Soiled is going to find a 2K, not before Kaki and Largu put the advantage in their favor again. Looks like Largu is going to be caught out, but this actually can favor the side of blue here. They're going to have both their soldiers respawning, and Largu going to be waiting.
Yeah, they need to make sure they don't get caught out by this Uber again. Demo is alive for red, so looks like they're going to be rotating maybe to house. Yeah, killing a flank player. Blue capped the point, but red's going to try and edge it probably and try and Uber when they get too close.
It is an even Uber situation. With only one person down, they definitely can push off this, but looks like they just want to edge the point really quietly. We do actually see Psych doing lots of damage, just being aggressive, pushing them back to their concrete. But yeah, this is a standard cost stalemate. People are just, you know, unsure of what to do, and it could be very scary committing.
ESO flanking in house, soiled it a little too aggressive, spamming the point it looked like, but somehow ESO losing that. Unfortunate for him.
That's a really crucial pick. This is gonna, you know, they actually are about to get the point, but we actually do get a really nice rocket off of Fish Botnator. Is gonna be forcing out the Uber, and is actually gonna survive. That is such a big play. They're gonna have so much cap time. They actually already did Uber, but nothing's being found out. Looks like they're gonna have Beartooth kills being found out. Psyche is gonna get 10Q here, and it's gonna be damage all over. But red team is gonna cap the point here. It's not Largu. Oh, but Fish Botnator is going to get 2 along with Eggsy. Soiled It is going to go down to Largu, and it's a fight on the point. Oh, it's all up to Largu. Fish Botnator, they're both really low HP, both 9 HP. This is incredibly scary. Has to be holding off. Cannot leave the point. Cannot lose this fight, but does get an arrow. Is going to be trading off with Largu, and this is... Ooh, this is really close.
Yeah, unfortunately for blue, their spawns are so slow here. So if red people die, they're gonna get in time again. But this bomb, so much aggression, so much damage on red.
That's so much damage there.
Somehow, blue, they didn't go in. There were like 4 red players who could have just died in one shot. There's no follow-up.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. That was a really great soldier bomb, bombing on the high ground and landing a good crucial rocket that did over 100 damage to nearly half the team. So, but at that point, you always have to be really wary whenever the time reaches 0. But looks like we are going to have a really aggressive soldier play from Fish Botnator. Unfortunately, isn't going to find anything off of that, and it's going to be 1 down starting off the mid-fight.
Yeah, going that aggressive this early, I think your team can't really follow up, so it's usually not advisable to go that aggressive. Now, red just kind of has a free cap. Blue's trying to aggress, but down 1, there's not much they can do. Well, Soiled finds a really good spam rocket from the house. You might want to see a little more, flank pressure on that guy. He's been doing a bunch of spam.
Yeah, red team does manage to find the cap there. Is going to be whittling down. Ringland is actually going to find a frag across the map onto Atomic. A little unfortunate. But it is even Ubers, and at this point, you just want to find one little pick, one small advantage, just like that. Oh, this could be another one. Largu and ISO both gonna be going down here, and it's gonna be all up to everyone else. Oh, this is not looking too great. So that right now, running a train on the flank. Exy is gonna be capping second, and it's looking really nicely for the side of Swaggers here.
Yeah, AFK really doesn't have flank control, and they're just getting punished from the house. It's really easy, it's high ground, good spam angle. A soldier can just sit over there, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, Soiled is playing that really, really well. But looks like they are wanting to push off the left side here. They are going to be sending a soldier bombing in. We are going to have Eggy denying. Doughboy is going to be the first casualty in this battle. But this is... Psych is going to go down. That's a crucial pick. 10Q, only 17 HP. Going to be bombing. The Uber is going to be popped out. Fish Botnator does manage to find ISO there, and is also going to be right behind them. Oh, this is really big. This could be really big if the team wanted to push in. Looks like they did Uber a little bit late, but the frags are going to be found. Khaki Doughboy are going to be killed, and it's going to be Largu left to cap the point. Is going to try to get some time, but looks like does manage to leave with his life as the fights settle down.
Yeah, Soiled a little aggressive there after the Uber, trying to fight 5 players. Scout managing to trade him out? Nope, he's gonna fall as well. Overstayed his welcome a little bit, forgot the other team has better spawns. Something has to be said, AFKs, they don't really have control of either house. I think they got forced through their own side. They're gonna have to keep better eyes on that.
Yeah, it's surprising that we're not necessarily seeing like double soldier high bombs to try to force anything. It's just the flanks that aren't being watched. Soiled right now is running a clinic on these people, showing them, this is how you play flank at this point.
Yeah, you really want to see like a scouting soldier just run through the right house and try and kill it.
Fish Botany is going to be going down. It's not looking too great. Atomic as well, losing 2 right before anything happens. Eggsy, this might have been a sack wave, but seemed a little bit unlikely, just because of where the frags were found. And this does provide an opportunity for AFK to go a little bit further forward. And we do see part of the flank actually aggressing. Doughboy and Largu are both going to be pushing up forward on the right side. Although Largu is going to find an early grave, but so the Imfish bot are going to be dead as they are going to be respawning here. In general, whenever you're playing on the side, if you don't have the point, it's okay if you die. Your respawn compared to the enemy team, it's nothing.
Yeah, players being traded. Looks like some players on Swag going in for the horse, and they just dropped the medic somehow. Not sure how that happened, but Largu just... They dropped the other team's med too? Everyone's just going in. The meds don't want to use, apparently.
This is... It's a very bloody battle, and I think Psych was the only person that managed to get out alive on the side of blue. But yeah, this battle was gonna favor red. Surprisingly, the frags weren't being found fast enough. So
yeah, kind of a forward hold without the medic. Both soldiers watching right just killed that scout who ran through. Did not expect. Good heads up play by them. They can keep this forward hold going.
Yeah, look how much spam damage they're finding. Psych is gonna go down before he even gets through the door. Eggsy is gonna find a consolation frag onto 10Q, but the damage has been done. The amount of time that they've wasted here, and the amount of time that red team had that needs to like actually win the round and win the half here is only 10 seconds. They have to do something. Looks like they're bombing onto the point, trying to get anything done. We are seeing some spam. We actually do see Fish Botnator pushing. Ooh, that's going to be a big frag coming in from Fish Botnator, finding a 3K onto Ringlands, ISO, and Doughboy. Kaki is going to finally going to silence Fish Botnator, but it's going to be way too late. That's a really great push. A dry fight as well. I'm surprised no team had Uber at that point, but now, you know, full Uber advantage for the side of Swaggers. They definitely can forward hold this. They can use this aggressively if they do so wish, but they have to be really careful. It's only 1 second on the point, and any mistake is going to be costly. Just like that, Psych is going to go down. Eggsy as well. Oh, dropping too many people. It's 3 left against 4.
Yeah, looked like they tried to forward hold, and somehow the demo just let people walk through the doorway, unfortunately. Looks like everyone on blue is just going to fall. They kind of had to stay in, but they didn't have a lot of players. It's just a soldier.
Yeah. A little bit unfortunate, but that is going to be closing the half. Unlike 5CP, Koth only goes to first to 4 rounds, just because usually they're a lot longer.
Hello, everyone. Well, hello. The host has returned, but I'm here to ask you guys about that last scenario that led to the round win for the red team. You know, I kind of want to talk about Delta. You pointed out that the that the demo gave up the left side towards the ramp, correct?
It wasn't that he gave it up. He just let everyone through. I don't think he dead a single sticky. He just got jumped.
Yeah, so I kind of want to press forward on that issue there. Do you when is it really a good time to fall back? Do you think they really should have stayed committed once those players came through?
No, the moment a forward hold on the flank side gets broken, you just have to leave. You know, if it's on the side with 2 soldiers, you can kind of stay there. There's multiple people over there, but when it's just the demo and scout, you have to run away as soon as people get through. But the main thing the demo has going is, the doorway's trapped. Once people are through that, it's more of a problem.
Yeah, and I do agree with that. That was kind of the play style that I saw, being behind the scenes while you guys were casting. Obviously, I'm here to bring some analytical input, but you notice there from AFK, just that scenario where they were aggressive and got on the demo, they kind of tended to pounce on, I would say, Swaggos with attitude's tendency to play really passive. I think at the start of the mids, especially that second mid fight, you notice how aggressive AFK were with taking the point and, just playing that mid cap, I believe Delta and Fleskore, I think all 3 of us can agree on the fact that the mid cap on Koth is something you have to play. And if you don't have that mid cap and you're back up to Plat, especially here on Bagel, where the area is more constricted and the mid cap space is so open that having control of that basically gives you control of the flanks and the houses. And because, so I guess with attitudes, we're backed up to their platform, most of the mids, and like you said, Delta at the start of the second mid, I think in the first mid too, Fish Botinator was going for a lot of plays. With him being down, there was no control in the houses for, I guess with attitude. So really, that just allowed AFK to go forward on point, take that mid cap, get that aggression in the houses, and really force, I guess with attitudes into a very constricted space over on their plat. Does that sound like, what was going on for AFK and why they were so successful?
Yeah, I think that's what was happening on mids. It seemed like they kind of lost that as the game went on, though. I think I noticed several times when AFK was down a player, they wouldn't really have someone watching house. Like, Fish Botinator was able to just walk in like 4 or 5 times, not even being looked at, and just getting 4 rockets off.
I noticed that too. Like Fish Botinator got a lot of flanks, but for the combo of so I guess with attitudes, it felt like they had a lot of times where they could use Uber to stop point. They had an Uber ad on that last scenario where the demo and 2 scouts died. It just felt like they were really hesitant to really get forward with their combo and play with the Uber. And Fleskore, I think we can agree on Koth that like if you have the Uber ad and you notice that there's an open space where you can take the Uber into their combo, having that Uber ad and bringing your pocket scout and your demo aggressively in with that Uber to wipe their entire team, your soldiers can follow up on that. But it just felt like, so I guess with attitudes were just really passive. They just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it was definitely a little odd, like that final like moment when they did have full Uber ed, and they definitely just could have pushed into the lobby where everyone was, and even if they didn't find any frags, it's stopping them. It's stopping them from doing anything and getting out, and kind of instilling the fear of God into them. As we head into this mid right here, it looks like there's going to be a lot of pressure on the right side of the map. Going to be some long range rockets onto Soiled It, but it's going to be fought by ISO. He's going to have to retreat here. But so far, it's just a lot of chip damage. Fish, Botinator, and Atomic are both going to be really low, but Soiled It is going to find the fight into ISO, along with Sight getting Doughboy. That's going to be 2 big frags. Not before Largu finds Atomic, and this is going to be a mid for Swaggers, starting off the half really dominantly, finding 2 crucial frags and just forcing red team out.
Yeah, it seemed like Soiled It was able to just stay in that right house, just do so much spam, but not pressuring him is really causing problems for AFK. Right now, even, look at just all that damage he's doing. It's like 200 damage right there.
Yeah, it's definitely really vital just to be watching that house. Like Soiled It right now got silenced. That's going to be huge relief. The flanks are being watched here, and looks like AFK does manage to get the point back here. You are going to have a little bit of hesitance coming in. It is an even Uber situation, so at this point you have a lot of options that you could do. You could just try going for individual frags. You could try going for individual picks, just sacking for the medic as well. It looks like Fish Botinator tried taking a 1v1, is going to lose it unfortunately. And it is going to be stalemating a little bit. Definitely would like to see, capping edge just like that. Atomic just gets deleted by, Largu gets deleted by Atomic. And just as they're playing this really well. This is a completely different team from what we saw the first half.
Yeah, definitely. They're not just going too aggressive. They got the point, and they understand that going further forward's not worth it. Just getting their heels up.
I'm loving the way how Atomic was just kind of edging cap, just kind of going in and getting out before like the demo could even react, and then slowly building it up over time. But looks like the Uber is going to be forced out, trying to see if they can find any frags. 10Q is going to be found. Atomic does surf a sticky into the lobby area, but is going to be found out, but not before Eggsy. And with full Uber advantage, AFK definitely does have the advantage here. Looks like they're waiting to buff everyone up, waiting for the respawns. Because like, sure, you lose a few seconds, but those seconds don't matter if you can just wipe their whole team. Atomic is going to be the first death here, but oh, Fish Botinator getting really close, but unable to force the medic here, and looks like Swagger is going to have to retreat.
Yeah, I really don't agree with trying to force when the team's so far back. You have the point, so just let the team get on the point.
Would it have been acceptable to use a 4-man there instead?
Yeah, but you can still wait a couple seconds for the other team to get closer.
Yeah, it's definitely really helpful to like time. Oh, soiled it. So they're gonna find a really nice frag onto 10Q there, evening it up, and Kaki's also gonna go down. This is having no demo for this fight, and looks like they're just gonna be retreating. It's gonna, you know, very little explosive spam damage, and it's gonna be a cap again for Swagger. A little bit of a, as I like to say, a wet dry fight, since both teams have Uber, but none of them wanted to use it at that scenario because it wasn't appropriate. Really well done from it. Really well done from Swagger's fight, stuffing every doorway. Goodness me, this is a well-oiled machine that we're watching.
Yeah, Uber coming out of that side, somehow it got forced off on both teams. I don't think Blue had to use their... Oh, Red staying way too aggressively, but the collapse coming in. Almost... It's just a DM fight.
Fish Botnator, 1 rocket, 3 frags. Really well done. And,
Yeah,
wow.
I'm a little confused as to why AFK just used through the doorway like that. I don't think there were stickies there.
Psych, I did believe that Psych was on that side of the map, so they possibly did fear, but, you know, it's understandable, but it looks like AFK is finding their mistakes here. Fish Botnator is gonna find the spoon kill onto 10Q across the corner, and with only 5 seconds left, Swaggers right now is in a good position just to take their time. They have a minute to play with, but they definitely don't want to get complacent here because they still can lose the round. They have to play this carefully. They have to keep showing this good coordination, good aggression that they've been showing in this past round.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if they try and just take an exchange or if they want to try and force the other team. Ooh,
At this point in time.
Ruin's really AFK. The medic's not in for AFK. The medic's all the way back in house.
Oh, the Uber's gonna be forced, and it's only 3 of them. But looks like they did manage to get the cap, and they did manage to force the time to 0 to overtime. So at this point, it's sudden death on this round for the side of Swag. They just need to cap the point once, and that's it. Right now, AFK has to be playing this a little bit more careful. They can't necessarily allow these scouts to edge the point as they've been doing.
Yeah, crucially, Swag has better spawns, so if their players die, they can just come back.
Oh, ISO's gonna be the first death, and right now they did see Doughboy was really low here. They're all fighting on the point. We're gonna see a big bomb from Soil that is gonna be finding Ringlands. It is behind, causing a lot of chaos. There's gonna be no heals on the side of Red. We're gonna see a soldier try to mitigate that, try to bomb in. They're gonna find Psych. Atomic is gonna trade off, but 20 seconds left. The spawns still do favor Blue, so they can keep throwing. What actually? Yeah, the spawns do favor Blue here, so they can keep throwing bodies, excuse me, but they do have to be careful. It is getting really close. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. They do have full Uber advantage, and they can use it. Looks like they do want to use it, but make sure you have cap time. Make sure you have someone on the cap.
Yeah, 3 down for Swag. They're just doing so much damage, though, it looks like. There's a chance they actually win this, but Demo getting here is going to make that very difficult. 10IQ just bombing a scout, and looks like he actually killed him. Don't see that very often.
This is really good point denial right here from AFK. This is amazing. This is an overtime fight. None of these teams can actually leave the point. If one of them does, the other team, they lose. This is incredibly important. But right now, AFK, the way how they played that, the way how ISO and 10Q played that was phenomenal. They were so perfect in their coordination, understanding that they needed to bomb in and trade those bombs, and they're going to be finding the 3rd round, stealing it away from the side of Swaggers there.
What do you guys think went wrong there?
I think Swag kind of just went a little too aggressive instead of trying to just edge point. You know, they took a lot of 1v1s there, and even though they had better spawns, I don't think it favored them that much. Soiled it, spamming again. AFK doing a bit of a bomb. It looks like players tried to walk through the right house, but I think AFK is watching the house a lot better, so that play is not going to work.
Yeah, Fish Botnator going to be the first death yet again on this mid, and It's not looking too great right now. AFK has full map control. They have full point control, and right now they're looking pretty aggressive. They're looking like the favorites here to take it all. This is match point. They can win this 4-0. Psych is gonna go down, just sealing the nail even deeper, but Fishbotnator is gonna find the trade onto 10Q. So keeping numbers even, just like the Ubers as they are popped off here. We are going to see So that yet again in his playground, the house area taking down ISO. Eggsy is going to go down to Doughboy, but the collapse happening here. Kaki's going to be found, but not without the price of Fishbotnator and So that they're going to find the cap, but delaying the spawns. And we do have a scout flanking Largu, going to be finding Psyche, going to be taking the 1v1, going to be focusing the medic instead of the scout. Still surviving somehow, doing a really nice job, buying time for the soldier, is going to be juggling the medic out, but oh my god, Tooth medic, get out!
Yeah, managing to run out there by the skin of his teeth. I don't know how that worked. Good bomb by 10 IQ. They got the point back though, and it looks like they're able to set up traps, so... Oh, but dropping a player is not what you want to see. They're going to have to back up now. Swag's just going to be pressuring this point. Oh, Soldier's going in.
Ooh,
Actually,
good double soldier bomb.
Yeah, almost killing a scout. I'm very glad they didn't fully commit there. They just jumped away as soon as they landed. Gave space to their team.
Yeah, looks like Largu wanted to go for a little bit of a flank play, but, Soil that just said, you ain't me, and quickly shut that down. But looks like, we did see Swag with the point here, getting the frags, stuffing them really well. We are seeing Doughboy trying to, edge the cap a little, but Fishbotnator is going to be fine taking... Ooh. This is gonna be... Oh, but Ringlands is going to be found out there. Oh, goodness. It is going to be trading out Ubers here, but the drop...
Yeah,
what did X9 say? What did X9 say?
Yow.
Pop it, don't drop it, my friend. Definitely want to be careful there, but really well done. Really good hold from the side of Swagger here, showing some signs of life, wanting to clutch this back, showing that they're not done yet in this match.
Yeah, AFK, again, not watching the flank, letting their med drop to that. Pretty disappointing. Soiled's doing so much spam on that house. A lot of players from AFK are kind of on the low ground, which you don't really want to see.
Oh, Fishbotnator right now went huge, distracted both the soldiers, played them like a fiddle, is only 20 HP, but still going in. The cajones on this man just keeps going in, and this is a really great stuff. Atomic is going to go down, not before Fishbotnator finds his third here. Playing them just like a fiddle right now, winning the 1v1, is going to be dominating 10Q, and still fighting, not before going down to ISO. And with less than a minute left on the cap for Swaggers and the Ubers evening up here, oh god, it's not looking too pretty. We are going to see a little bit of a fake high bomb, but no follow-ups here. It's going to be a dry fight that they possibly want to take, but it's not. Oh, actually they're getting so much time on the cap.
In their demo though, and he's gonna fall, but...
Oh!
Aggressive bomb, dropping the medic for Swag. Everyone on Swag's red HP. They're all gonna be falling, it looks like. Eggy taking a 1v1. Looks like he killed himself with the sword. Atomic's still in. The force actually comes out. I'm surprised they got that off. Fishbotnator needs to be killed, or I'm sure he's gonna kill someone else.
Yeah, Fishbotnator has been running... Fishbotnator has been doing a really nice job just kind of bringing players behind, being a big distraction and getting a lot of impact, getting lots of damage on Doughboy, killing him outright, lots of damage on both the soldiers, and right now Blue has the point, 30 seconds left, only 3 people left, but that's going to be a late death from ISO, and Largu as well. It's going to be a weakened push here. They're going to have to wait to the very last second to push as a team, well, with the Ubers not looking too great. Look at the size of the Ubers. 80% to 20 is not, and only 10 seconds left. They're gonna need a miracle. They need to play this really well. We did see 10Q bombing in instantly. They're gonna be bomb rushing the point, but Psych is gonna find 2. ISO's gonna be finding Atomic. Fishbotnator gonna be doing his own thing, but Soiled It is gonna find everything, and that's gonna be first round for Swaggers. They're on the board, but they're still at match point. Really scary place to be.
Yeah, I think Fish Botnator kind of single-handedly won that round for his team with all of his. He spent about a minute just killing people, and AFK couldn't do anything. And if they tighten the flank up, I'm not sure what Swag can do.
Oh boy. Yeah, looks going into the sixth mid, I do believe. Eggsy is going to be the first death here. It's not going to be Fish Botnator, playing a little bit more passive, possibly ran out a little bit of steam after that intense round. And it's going to be as I like to call, a battleship fight where you're just throwing spam over, seeing if anything hits. And looks like it does. Psych and Soildit are going to be 2 dead on the side of Swaggers, as, you know, it's going to be another first mid for AFK.
Yeah, you really don't want to see those players dying first at mid, but unfortunately, Swag's usually been having that. There's a bit of a fight on the flank. Looks like both players aren't going to really commit, though. This is just the importance of winning the mid. There's so much time off the clock, and now Swag has to try and take an exchange or pressure the point. It's like Soiled spamming, but he's not really watching it. Almost dying to ISO there.
Really well done. We do see both soldiers coming in. Fish Botnator again flanking behind, pulling all these eyes away, getting lots of damage. And looks like they would want to capitalize off that. Kaki is going to be caught out just because everyone had to retreat just to make sure that Fish Botnator wasn't up to his usual hijinks. And again, we just see Swagger, completely different team here, playing it really well. And it's looking like that one round they lost just barely was kind of a little bit of a fluke. It looks like a completely different team. Psych is going to find 10Q, not before Soiled It gets traded out. And, ooh, Fish Botnator yet again on the flank, on behind, going in forward, going to be dropping ringlands, getting lots of damage. Still alive, is going to be found by, is going to find a Largu. Kaki and Doughboy are also going to be going down, only 3 up on the side. We're going to have a Scout 1v1 here in the house. Largu is going to find Eggsy, going to be chased down by Atomic, and Largu is going to be barely surviving on 16 HP, but this is going to be a recap.
Yeah, AFK really needs to designate a player to watch the flank. That medic drop really hurts them here, and looks like they're actually going to be able to get out of the forge. ISO getting air shot, I believe. 10 IQ going down. Yeah, Fish Botnator through the flank, probably almost killing a player there.
It's crazy because we see Soil, they kind of like control the house, like on the left side, and Fish Botnator right now is the soldier dynamic on Swagger is just incredibly powerful. We've seen Soil, they like on the first half, like, you know, doing the flanks and getting the doing the big plays, but now it's Fish Botnator turning up alive here on the second half. And looks like it is going to be a big bomb bombing directly into them. Going to be delaying a little bit. Unfortunate. It's going to be a little bit too early. Not before Soy that does find ISO, and looks like they're gonna have to retreat. The health on red isn't looking all that great either. Doughboy is gonna be dying. Look how many people are weak. Psych is gonna be found, but not. It's a scrappy fight, and Ubers are gonna be popped.
Yeah, look at the time. So much time for Swag. I think this is the first time in a long time AFK's had the points, but getting some picks. So definitely have an opportunity to really turn the map around here.
So with the point capped, they only had they're still about like 40 seconds behind, which is enough, but it could be that lead can quickly dissipate. But we have to see how they're playing right now. No team wants to commit. They understand that this means so much, but they understand that it's about the little things, little advantages, just like that. So they yet again winning the 1v1 in the house, and it's gonna be a big bomb. We're gonna see Soil that take down Kaki. Fish Botnator is gonna be found out on the right house, and for the price of both soldiers, they did manage to cap the point yet again. Ubers are gonna be even, but without any soldiers, it's pretty precarious to hold this.
Yeah, 10 IQ doing a million damage, getting that force off. AFK should have a better Uber, but it's not that much better. They might be able to catch a player out, though. The scout, who's not flashed right now. Oh no, that's a bit of a miscommunication with the combo scout, it looks like. Now, AFK is definitely on the back foot. Soldier coming in, but not able to find a kill probably. He's just gonna fall. Being 2 down with the point means...
Oh,
and
that's 3 down. That's Ringlands too. Fish Botnator.
walk through the flank again.
Yeah, these side lanes just have to be covered right now. You know, blue team is 2 down, but they have all the momentum here. Only 18 seconds left. We do see, oh, Largu just 2 shots to medic. That's going to be a little bit of a saving grace, but the time is going to be ticking. You know, we have 4 people on the point. They are gonna have a little bit of Uber advantage, but Largu is still gonna be down by the time this fight happens.
Yeah, AFK not able to forward bullet, but they're spamming aggressively, buying themselves good time. 10 IQ might be a little too know he's getting out. So control of the flank. It looks like there's a flank pressure going on. 2 players are kind of walking in here, but they just get stuffed completely. He just walked through. The medic's so hurt. Ringland's like 40 health. He's not in the fight, not healing his team. And
oh, yeah, Fish Botnator closing out this half. Fish Botnator turned up on this half, understanding that they were at match point, and right now the score is 3-2. We are going to be going to one and final half here. Swagger is playing from behind, but they seem pretty confident, and they took this, you know, despite losing the first round, they've been pretty dominant.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. And I think Delta and Fleskore, you guys mentioned a lot of it was the Fish Botinator show technically, but I think it's more also on the side of Swaggers with attitudes to hold the houses. Delta, can we signify how important holding the flank on houses is, and whose role should it necessarily be to be holding those houses?
yeah, so the pocket should be on your own house. So if you're red team, the pocket should be in the left house, and you really shouldn't be that aggressive. You can spam point a bit, but you have to be careful if someone goes in there. And the other side should really be up to the flank players, the flank scout, and the roamer. And if you notice the enemy pockets, you know, being too aggressive, kind of walking all the way up to almost the point and spamming, you can really send your roamer and flank scout into the house and try and kill him.
Right. And I do want to continue too, and Delta and Fleskore, I think Delta, especially with you, you're not a big fan of, you know, if you have the point, you don't really want to take those aggressive Uber changes on point, and I believe we saw that a lot from AFK. They took a lot of aggressive Uber exchanges. You guys noted out at one point, Ringlands and the Combo Scout, they went really aggressive onto Swaga's Plat, but obviously the Combo Scout and the Medic got disconnected. Delta, I guess it's generally not the rule of thumb to, you know, take aggressive Ubers when you're on when you have the point and it's even Ubers on Koth.
Yeah, when you have the point, especially on this map, it's so easy to just run away. You know, if you're really coordinated, you have a really good demo, especially, who can get a lot of damage off with his bombs, you might be able to pull it off, but generally at the lower levels, if you're going aggressive when you have the point, the other team's probably just going to run away, and you're not going to get anything.
Looks like we're heading into the next half, so I guess I'll let you guys take it away.
Oh yeah, final half, tension is high. You could probably feel the electricity in the air for both of these teams, and it's all gonna be about the first move. Who's gonna go down first? Who's gonna make the big plays? Who's gonna rise to stardom and who's gonna fall down in the dumps? It's all gonna be decided here as the mid fight starts off very slowly. We do see Soiled and Fish Botnator both on the left house. 10Q right now uncontested on the right side. Atomic is gonna be the first death. A little bit unfortunate, but lots of cap time on the side of AFK. It looks like they're going to be finding it without any. Wow, they found it. They found it without much retaliation. Seems to be that they're playing a little bit too passive, not necessarily getting the damage out, not even spamming from the house area. But looks like they are doing that now.
Yeah, Fish Botnator tried to walk in house, but AFK for the first time stuffed him out. Looks like he's going to be walking in there again. Let's see if the success can continue. Oh, yeah, they stopped watching it for a moment, but, you know, it's even players, so it's not a huge deal.
It is even players, but it's not necessarily even cap. We are gonna see Fish Botnator yet again pushing. is unable to find anything at this point, but is gonna be, you know, doing a lots of damage. So that is gonna be bombing up top. Not gonna be finding any damage on the medic, but damage overall to the rest of the team was really nice. And looks like again edging the cap did manage to find it there, but they are gonna lose it quickly in return, as you know AFK takes down 2 soldiers and decides to say welcome back.
Yeah, that sort of aggression on this map, it's really hard for your team to follow up because the point is such a choke point. You can't walk through it if there's a demo alive. So if you're bombing past there, your team can't follow up.
Gonna be going forward. There's gonna be 1 pick. AFK is gonna be 1 down here, heading into this little bit of a dry fight. But that's gonna be quickly. Actually, never mind. Doughboy and ISO are gonna be respawning up soon, but Soiled It right now is gonna be drawn back to a really long respawn time. But with all the space they're taking, it's looking really difficult. We actually do see red team wanting to like push a little bit. They're in the grass area, getting a little bit aggressive. Fishbotnator is going to be found down, and with all this control on the right house and none on the left, they're going to have to give this up. A minute 35, and this is match point still. They have to be incredibly careful.
Yeah, I really like how AFK is completely focused on the point. You know, they're just everything they do is to get the point, and I think it really shows on the clock.
Yeah, both these teams still have Ubers, so it looks like they're wanting to play really passive. They're playing it really carefully. Only 2 minutes left. The clock just struck 1:56 for the side of Swaggers, and they're keeping this relatively even, understanding that they don't want this game to go to the side of AFK, and this is really good coming from the side of Swaggers. The way they're kind of like ebbing and flowing within the point and using their spam. Doughboy is gonna be found out. Largo is gonna be brought down incredibly low. That's gonna be both scouts down. So that is gonna be found down, not before being traded off, but 10 and Q gets a big frag onto Atomic and Eggsy, evening it up. It is gonna be only Kaki and Ringlands here. Oh, and Kaki's gonna be found down. That was a really good fight, but it's still gonna be favoring on the side of AFK just because they have the faster spawns. Fishbotnator is gonna find Doughboy, but again, aggressing alone, and they're gonna have to give this up. But they did manage to find some really good cap time. Looks like Soda does want to contest it a little bit, understanding that they do have the heals and getting the respawners back in. Oh, but Beartooth is gonna be forced up. Both soldiers are gonna be bombing in. Oh, they have too many people behind. They have ISO. Oh gosh, this could be really dangerous if they don't deal with this accordingly.
Yeah, Soldier in. Swag kind of overstayed their welcome there. Atomic, they're just gonna let them run away, I think. I don't know if you saw, but Beartooth actually walked up to try to arrow the other team, and that's how he got forced. He walked ahead of his.
Yeah, definitely want to be a little bit careful. You know. Make sure you're playing behind the enemy team, or behind your team as a medic, just because your arrows can do lots of damage, but it's usually not worth it, especially when Fishbotnator just gets a med pick just like that. And oh, this could be a 4-man that we do see really quickly. We are gonna see ISO chasing Beartooth right now. Is gonna be finding the 1v1. Is gonna be getting the kill, really greatly timed as well. And they're actually going to be holding the point, losing no one else at all.
Yeah, and great.
Wow.
That was really well timed too, because the medic death means Swag can't really cap the point because they're going to delay the spawn. So, and look at this, Swag can just come right back in, cap the point. Looks like the Swag is pressuring it though. Largo's going to fall. Good pressured by Swag, blocking the point there. I like how none of the players really went across the point line. They kind of just blocked on the point.
Oh, this isn't looking too great. Oh, wow! This situation changed entirely. This situation was actually favoring Swag right here, but looks like they lost 3 in an instant. It's gonna be all up to Atomic, but Atomic is gonna go down for the 3rd time to a medic arrow. A little bit unfortunate. 10Q is gonna be finding Beartooth kills, and with 67% Uber. This is going to be a one last final push. 20 seconds left on the clock. Right now, this is do or die for the side of Swag. They have to make sure they play this perfect. But right now, AFK is giving no freebies. Fish Bot Eater is going to be trying to be making something happen. It's going to be bombing directly onto the point, trying to flank them all across. It's going to be found out by Doughboy, going to be chased down. But looks like everyone's going to be on here. The Uber is going to be popped. Atomic is going to be found out. Beartooth is going to go down along with Psych. It's all up to Eggsy. It's going to 1 on 6. Does find 10Q, but with a little bit of cap time, it does go to overtime, but there's going to be no one left to contest the point, and this is going to be GG for the side of AFK, taking it 4-2. Really well fought from Swagger, but unfortunately at the very end, it didn't work out.
Yeah, I think the turning point there, that fight with even players, Swag started to win it, and then they really went aggressive. They had a couple players walk all the way through house onto patio, and they kind of just fed in one by one after that. I think they would have been better off after capping the point, just backing up and playing together.
Yeah, there was a scenario where they were like it was a 6-on-3 and they had the entire advantage. Kaki was at low HP, and all they had to do was just kind of push them out. But looks like they got a little bit too greedy. Looks like they wanted to sink the nail in deeper just to show them like, yeah, we're tying up the score. But it was just a big play, and I do believe and 3 of them just went down there, and that was just the main that was
Yeah.
like the main factor that just kind of cost them the round. It kind of all fell apart afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. I know on this map it can be really tempting to be aggressive when you have player ad, but it can be hard for your team to follow up. And if you're a flank player and oh, they're 3 down, we're collapsing, and you go through house, you might just be walking into more players than you can handle before your team gets there.
But yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate, and it goes to show like Koth is all about these little mistakes or like these little advantages, and they can easily just compound into something much greater if left unchecked. Like, we saw Fish Botnator on like the second half, absolutely abusing the fact that the flank wasn't being watched after getting a pick. So all they had to do was work the pick, and then that's a free, easy getting a soldier behind to be a nuisance. Same thing with Soiled It. Soiled It on the left side house did a really fantastic job of just stuffing it, taking 1v1s in there, and also flanking in the first half. We saw that a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you guys noted that too. You noticed one team that had a style of like flanking a lot and being reliant on the soldier bombs, whereas one team, I guess on the other side with the AFK, they seemed to be a lot more team based or coordinated with one another. Whereas you had like a few players going for hero plays on the side of Swaggers with attitudes.
That type of that game plan definitely can work, but it also can be incredibly volatile because you constantly need to be setting up your star players, and you need to be setting up the playmaker as best as possible, and it's up to the playmaker as well to make sure that those shots are being hit, the correct decisions are being made, and it could be a little bit nerve-wracking, but they did show a valiant effort. It was incredibly close despite the scoreline. I think it was 4-2. Like, that definitely could have gone either way, I would say.
Yeah, and guys, I'd like to close it out before we run things too long. So guys, we have quick shout outs, but first off, I do want to quickly talk about Try by Fireside once again, where we run this every week. I believe every Wednesday, because usually every amateur or newcomer match is 9:30 p.m. default time on Wednesdays Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing a mix of what you just saw here, where we just had a bit of play-by-play from our boy Fleskore here, and a bit of the analysis on the side from both Delta and Fleskore. Guys, we have quick shoutouts before we end this.